Run with your arms. I love this. This is one of the most highly neglected areas of running is the mechanics of your arms. I never used to do it. I used to not know what to do with it and I would just brush it off. I'm here to tell you, if you can master the arm swing, your legs are going to follow suit. And why is that? Our arms are a window of what's going on with our legs. One of my favorite things to do, I used to do this when I was doing group exercise coaching to see how many people could fix the fall, or I'll do it one-on-one with my patients. Let's say somebody is overstriding. I'm going to give them one cue with their arms and see what helps, or a cue with their legs. So often I see that it's when I give cues for the arm swing and the arm position that clicks with people. And that's what makes this exciting. If everybody responded to the same exact cues, it wouldn't be any fun. I can have one cue that sets so perfectly with someone and it makes them correct it, and another person's like, what do you want me to do? But that's what makes it fun. We have more control with our arms, more dexterity. We use our arms more throughout the day, so it's easier to make corrections with the arms. Sometimes we go out and run and all we're thinking about is the legs and we don't realize. So I'm going to go through this breakdown and this progressions and all these different assistive devices that we're using to make it that you have to do proper form. Once we master that movement pattern, can we take something away and still master that? In the beginning of learning to run, there is conscious effort that you have to make. You have to think about these things. As you get better, as it becomes a motor program, it's automatic. You don't have to think about these things anymore. I don't think about any of these things anymore, but there was a time where I did. Okay, so the first one is the ACE bandage. The purpose for this is to go around your low back. We're trying to maintain that proper arm swing position. And this is for cruising, like normal speeds. Most of the time when you're running, if you're an all-out sprint, our arm swing is going to open up just like our legs open up, the stride. So again, it's going to mirror the legs. But the purpose of this is I'm trying to dry off my low back. I'm trying to have all of my momentum go forward and back. That's the reason for this. With the cue of drying off my low back, I'm able to get that forward and back. If I'm seeing someone do this with their arms, wrist above the elbows, bounding, what's mostly happening? Their energy, their force, their momentum is going up and down. If I have a shot put and I'm trying to throw it as far as I can, I'm not going to throw it down. It's not going to go anywhere. The competition is to go forward. Running's forward. I want to throw it forward. Okay, I love this one. Either socks or a towel, hand cloth, something underneath your armpits. I like to use the cue when it return this cue. And again, when we use these drills, they become cues later on. You work on them in isolation and then you interject them into running. And if you see that you're doing one of the faults still, cue. Imagine like I'm running with a belt on my low back. When we look at this back view, we're looking at frontal plane, 3 planes of motion. Think about if my arms are excessively wide, what does that do? Well, one, our cue here, we're going to drop that towel or we're going to drop that sock. Why is this not effective, not efficient? If my arms are out to the side, what has to work to do that? My deltoids, my traps are working. Anything that requires energy is going to fatigue you faster. The more efficient you are, we can keep your heart rate below that threshold of where you fatigue out. I'll be including more of that in this performance series, but we're trying to have an efficient arm swing. So the purpose of that, I used to use the cue of, imagine like you've got a $20 bill, not a $100 bill, and you're holding onto it for dear life. But as you're running, if you're keeping that contact, which is engaging your lats slightly, which is keeping your arms to your side, this is preventing excessive abduction, we call it, or work for your traps, and it's going to not manifest in your legs as much when you're out wide. Arms at 90 degrees. This is a good one. This is debated a lot. I love when people compare to these world-class athletes, but this person runs a world record. I can't even ride a bike that fast. They can do whatever the hell they want, just like baseball and hitting. We learn in baseball mechanics how to swing properly. You're going to see some amazing baseball players that have accomplished incredible tasks, and they've got all sorts of funky stuff. So when I'm teaching you this, it's to the masses. It applies to most people. One of the most common faults I see is people are running with their elbows. They're hinging their elbows up and down. You'll see when I run, it's mainly coming from my shoulder, creating that forward and back. But I'm not having a lot of this elbow bending, flexing, extending, all that kind of stuff, because one, it's energy that is not going to, it's not efficient. And two, If I am trying to get 180 steps per minute, 180 steps, that's 180 arm swings per minute. That is 30 swings every 10 seconds. If my arms are out and straight, good luck. Good luck getting 30 in 10 seconds. My arms bent to 90, closer to the axis of the shoulder, I'm able to create that forward and back a lot more easily. So as a general rule, we want 90 and the motion coming from the shoulders. The reason that we do the distance of a fist from the wall, with running, I'm trying to change the narrative. Everything's been pulling your legs up, pulling your legs forward. I'm trying to teach and preach pushing. Push with the tush. If someone's arms are going way out in front, most often they're doing what I call the puppet. They're pulling their legs up. They're using their hip flexors. We don't get a lot of power from our hip flexors. We're tight in the front of our hips as it is. We're trying to push with the tush, drive forward, drive backwards, push to drive us forward. So having this distance from the wall, this kind of keeps me honest. How does this play out as a drill? What you're going to do is you're going to start with all of the elements, everything working together. It's going to force you to have the proper mechanics. Once you feel comfortable, you're going to take one away. It's up to you what you take away first. This is the order that I usually do. So first I'm saying dry off your low back, dry off your low back. Don't drop the socks, don't hit the wall. First I'm going to take the socks away and still maintain that same proper arm position. Then I'm going to take away the ace bandage, have my arms still do the same thing, and then finally I'm going to step away from the wall and try not to punch the wall. Then I'm going to incorporate this into running. And as again, we want it to be automatic and subconscious. You don't have to think about it. But in the beginning, yes, you've got to think about it. Questions, comments, concerns? Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Matt Minard, and I'm so passionate about helping you run safer. If you found this video helpful, if you could please subscribe and share it with your friends, I'd be forever grateful. I have shorter form content on my Instagram, Learn to Run, and then the longer stuff here, more lecture based, because I understand we come to different platforms for different reasons. So follow me over on Instagram if you want the short and sweet, and follow me on here if you want the longer breakdowns.